Hi, you guys. I hope you guys had a happy Juneteenth and a happy Father's Day. Let's see if my baby girl is gonna be sweet. Hi, you guys. How are you guys? Hey, Uncle. You guys, my uncle's on here. I miss you guys. I hope you guys had a happy Juneteenth and a happy Father's Day. I did, with the people that I love. It was wonderful. And but I really wanted to come on and speak on something that has just been, I've been talking about a lot with friends, and that is how we turn this time of great change into a time of great progress. Like, we've been talking so much, and I've been seeing so many people disenchanted with the insincerity that we're seeing from a lot of companies. I've heard people talking about so much performative bullshit from companies and from people who want us to spend money with them. And I saw one friend posted, like, these companies are making changes like black people just came out. And I'm like, you know what? It's true. It's true. Hi, Courtney. It's true. It's true. You do see companies and people who want us to spend money with them making a lot of changes, and some of it is sincere from some people who are sincerely like, wow, I need to learn more and evolve in the way that I've been seeing the world, because this is not the world that we want to create. And some people are just doing it. Some companies are just doing it just because, they want to seem like they're for the people. But I want to share that it's fine. Like, I feel like first of all of it is good because forward progression is happening. But know that what we're seeing right now is that the power really is with the people. That we have the power to come together and raise our voice and to say that, we're not okay. We're not okay with the ways that our society has not been working for enough of us, and we are willing to come together to figure out the solutions that are going to create a kind and just global society for all of us. We want to do that, of every color. And that's very powerful. And so guess what? Yes, companies and institutions are responding to that and saying, hey, this is where we're standing on this side of the matter. You know what? And here's what I want to say. It doesn't matter if they're sincere when they say it or not. That does not even matter. We shouldn't even be disenchanted about their intentions. Their intentions don't even matter. Do you know why? We're the ones that get to hold them accountable. We're the ones that get to make sure that what is starting out as performative bullshit turns into lasting change. How? How do we do that? We take very close note of their actions going forward. And if we see that they are not holding up their end of the bargain and being true to the stances that they're stating at this time, the stances that they're making at this time, if we feel like going forward, we take note. And if they do not show up in the ways that they say, that in alignment with what they say they believe, and they're not being consistent in that, we must refuse to be their employees and their consumers. It's as simple as that. We must refuse to be their employees and their consumers. We're seeing the protest on the street, but understand that the real protest is going to be in how we conduct ourselves going forward. How we circulate our energy, how we circulate our time, how we circulate our money, how we circulate our attention, and who we choose to circulate it with. We're the ones that get to decide if they're being sincere or not. And guess what? And this is the truth. This is the truth for every size business and every size corporation. Every size corporation. If we refuse to be their employees and their consumers, then guess what? They no longer have an incentive to try to wield their influence in our society. They no longer have an incentive to wield their influence in our politics. They no longer have an incentive to wield their influence in the midst of us because they understand that we are not going to patronize them. We are not going to work for them. These are the changes that we have to be willing to make. This is how we make what is happening right now a lasting change. And who am I talking to? I'm talking to everyone who is committed to creating a kind and just global society, regardless of what color we are. Because we're standing up globally and saying, guess what? People in power do not get to create a society where any of us is treated like less than a dog. We are not agreeing to that. We're not agreeing to any demographic of any people anywhere on the earth being oppressed and subjugated and treated as less than human. Why? Because we have done our work and we have embraced our God consciousness. We embrace our oneness with God, and we are committed to creating a kind and just global society that reflects the truth of who we know that we are. We're taking a stand for love. We know that we're all divine beings with gifts to share. But guess what? So guess what has to happen in order for us to be able to do that? In order for us to be able to refuse to be their employees and their consumers, guess what has to happen? Each of us has to empower ourselves as much as we can. We have to empower ourselves as much as we can. We have to bless ourselves with abundance in every area of our lives. We have to do that. We have to do that. We have to commit to creating abundance in every area of our lives. Abundance in our businesses, abundance in our relationships, abundance in our health, abundance of love in our mind, abundance of peace in our spirit. We have to be the most empowered beings that we can. Why? Because we have to be the answer. We have to be the answer. So many things that we do right now in life that have continued this system going is based out of our convenience. We've been doing what's convenient in our life. We have to move from convenience to empowerment. When we are in a place of empowerment, we make choices. We make choices. We make conscious choices about what we do. If we see someone's being denied an opportunity, you give it to them. You empower yourself to be able to give them an opportunity. If we come together and we see a company is using slave labor to create billions of dollars in wealth, and they refuse to change the ways that they do that, we have to be willing to say, I'm going to give up my convenience and I am not going to be a consumer with this company, and I will not be their employee. We have to be willing to do that. But the only way that we can do that is if we are empowered enough to give our own self choices. To give our own self choices. How do you give your own self choices? Live your highest purpose. Do what you came to do. You know what it is that you came to do. You know what it is that's calling you forth. Write the book. Grow the business. Get the promotion. Release the trauma. Release the addiction. Whatever it is. Do what it is that you need to do to get to your next level of empowerment so that you can have more than enough, so that you can live from the overflow. Heal our shadows. You got that right. Sister, heal our shadows. That's some very, very deep work that has to be done. Healing our shadows. One that is very important for us right now. Very important for us right now. As a human community, I have some things in my heart that I want to say. But I don't want to get distracted from my point that I wanted to make. But do whatever it is that you need to do. Do what it is that you need to do. Heal your shadows. Grow. Go deep enough in your self-love. Go deep enough in your self-love that you can stare any part of yourself in the face and still understand and not lose touch with your divinity. Be willing to go deep enough in yourself so that you can look at any ugly part of yourself, that any ugly thing that's been hiding itself in your consciousness. Go so deep in your self-love that you can go there because you're willing to forgive yourself. And you're willing to be used by God, by good. You're willing to be in tune with the progressive frequency of the universe. And you're willing to leave old things behind. You're willing to create a new identity, not based on lack, limitation, and separation. You're willing to find a new identity in love, in your innate greatness, because you are one with the very power of the universe that creates worlds. If you get so in touch with that part of yourself, you will not have a problem leaving behind any identity that no longer serves you. See, because when we're willing to embrace our oneness with God and go so deep there, when we're willing to go so deep into our spiritual nature, it's really embracing your divine nature. That's really what it is. You know what? I've had people ask me like, hey, how do you even walk in joy when you see all of these things in front of you? You know what? Let me tell you, do you know how I continuously walk in joy? Because I understand, for one, I do not allow my mind to be too consumed with the things of this world. I understand that I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. I am in the world, but I am here to reflect and reveal a divine power, a divine being, that which is eternal. That which is eternal. I'm here to be an opening for that to express through me, in me, and as me. So when I look at things that feel discouraging, when I look at things that feel painful, when I look at things that seek to negate my very humanity, when I look at those things, I feel the pain of those things. I feel the pain of those things. I process the pain of those things. And then I stay in tune with my spiritual nature, and I understand that the experience of the pain of those things is a certain frequency of energy that is moving throughout the human experience. And while I may feel that, that cannot trump or overcome my divine nature, the presence of God in me. I refuse to surrender my dignity, my spiritual dignity, to the ignorance of someone else's low frequency consciousness. I refuse to do that. I refuse to do that. And that's how I never lose touch with my power. And guess what, you guys? All of us have that power. The same divine power that's within me is the same power that is within you. And when we are all in tune with that power together, we are a mighty force for good that cannot be defeated. How do I know that? I live this. I live this. I live this because we're in a time, and you guys know what that means, because we're in a time where you can see the atrocities that are inflicted on African Americans and people of color all over the world. But I call on the power of my ancestors. I call on the power of my ancestors who may not have been able to have control of their body, but who refuse to surrender their spiritual power and their spiritual dignity to the barbaric behavior of those in power who treated them as less than human. I'm grateful for that power. I'm grateful for that strength. Guess what it is? It's given me the ability to transmute energy. It's made me an incredible light worker, an energy worker. And we can all do that. And we have to all do that. Uh-oh, where's the pacifier? And I'm sure you guys can feel the intensity of my energy today. You know, I've been working through something. You know, we've been having so much talking, but there's so many things from just even with all of the things that are going on in our society, and we just had Juneteenth, so I've been reflecting and celebrating the beauty of my ancestors and all the gifts that they blessed us with for me to be here. And then I saw this story about a picture, I think in an Alabama official house. We've been talking about removing those monuments and all those different things, and this was like a picture, and it showed, a Dr. Sims, who is known as one of the medical forefathers of gynecology, and showed a picture of him with a black enslaved woman. The doctors used to do surgical work on black women with no anesthesia to perfect their techniques so that they could then go and provide those techniques to white women in Europe with anesthesia and sedation. And it's just like, as a black woman, I definitely feel the ways in which it's like many of my white brothers and sisters have been taught to feel like black people don't feel pain like you do, like any other person. And it's just like, oh my God, yeah, I do. But I refuse to surrender my spiritual dignity in the face of any pain, because I know that the presence of God lives in me. And what I really want to share, you guys, is that all of us can tune into that power, and it can be transformative. And we don't have to make little incremental steps in our lives. You can have a quantum leap in your life if you're willing to tap into your divine power. That's a message that I really hope that we get to see from this time of upheaval, because I know there's so many of my sisters who, feel called to speak a certain message but can't find the words and are trembling with fear because they don't want to they're afraid to speak their truth, or afraid to write their book, or afraid to just be bigger in the world. And I just want to share my love with you today to say, understand that there is a power that lives within you that is so much bigger than anything that seems to be standing in your way. And that power is a love power that can trump anything. It can surmount anything. And it is your path of protection. For all of my people who ever felt victimized, you don't have to feel victimized when you are in tune with your divine power and you know that you're walking in the path that you're called to walk in. Know that. And you don't have to be afraid. Hi, Kirsten. So I think that my point of all of this is that if we're going to make lasting change out of this time, lasting progress out of this time, we have to go very deep in our self-love. We have to go very deep in our conviction of our oneness with the divine, that we will not allow ourselves to be diminished in any way. We will not allow ourselves to be diminished by our fears. We will not allow ourselves to be diminished by any old ways of thinking that continue to try to pull us back. Many of you are working through giving up the notion of privilege. That is hard work. There's going to be thoughts and feelings that are messy sometimes. You don't need to be ashamed of that. Understand that the presence of God in you is great, is amazing. And you have a destiny and an identity that is not based in oppression. That's just a narrative. You didn't need that narrative to be great. You were already great. You already had gifts to share. No one else had to be subdued in order for your greatness to shine. That's never been the truth. That's just a lie. That's just a lie that those in power have promoted in order to divide us all over the world. And so I just want you to know that. And I want you to be in touch with that. In touch with your self-love. Y'all are so cute. Nina, you finally caught me live. I caught you live, girl. Yes, your aura is literally visible. You know what? My aura is literally visible, and I am using this filter. I am using this filter, but my aura is visible. You know. Let me see that. Girl, your energy is off the charts. No. And her hair is on fire. This is my fiery hair. I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are so cute. I don't even know what it's called. Y'all, literally when I come on, I just swipe the filters and see which one I like the best that day. I don't know. I don't know what it's called though. Y'all are so cute. But I hope you do feel my love. I hope you do feel it. And I hope that, I gotta find the pacifier, y'all. My baby is gonna, hold on. Where's the pacifier? Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. I love y'all. I gotta go. My baby's getting fussy. But I hope y'all have the best day ever. I really do. And I hope that you create the most empowered life ever. Okay? Because we need you. We need you. We need you. We're just getting started. Okay? We're just getting started. And if you didn't sign up for the workshop, guess what? It's going to be next Saturday at 12:30. Click the link in my bio. We're going to do work to make sure we're spiritually aligned to create a kind and just global society. If you've been asking what is yours to do, we're going to find out at the workshop. Okay? I love y'all. Bye.